So a while back, I did a poll on my Instagram where I asked women if they faked an orgasm before, and about 65% of women said that they did. And then after that, I made a poll where I asked women why they faked their orgasm, and there was a pretty equal division between three reasons. The first one was that they didn't want to disappoint their partner. The second was that they just wanted it to end. And the third one was that they wanted to be seen or appear as more sexy. And I think that this is something that we should have a conversation about, because obviously faking orgasms has become very normalized. We see it in movies. A lot of guys have this thing of like, oh, like, did she really come or did she fake her orgasm? And obviously from the poll, we can see that a pretty large percentage of women have faked orgasms before. And I think that faking orgasms is doing everyone a disservice, because when we as women fake an orgasm, we're basically giving the feedback to our partner that whatever they did works for us, meaning that they are likely going to repeat that. And if that wasn't working for us, why would we give them that feedback? Because it actually leads to longer term dissatisfaction in our sex life. And another reason I think it's so important to stop faking our orgasm is that it doesn't lead to a very honest and transparent relationship with our intimate partners. It's kind of like our sexual relationship with that person is kind of based on a lie. We're constantly lying during those sexual interactions, pretending we're really enjoying when we're actually not. So if we also want to have deeper connections with our intimate partners, I think it's really important that we stop faking our orgasms and that we are more honest in our sexual expression. So in this video, I'm going to share some things that you can do instead of faking your orgasm so you can feel more empowered in your sexual expression. The first one is to actually have a conversation with your partner outside of the bedroom where you address it. And here the conversation will be different depending on your unique truth. So for example, if you generally struggle to orgasm with partners and it's something that usually doesn't happen for you and it's something that you kind of know about yourself, you can communicate that with your partner and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that I absolutely love sex and I'm really enjoying our interaction. And with that being said, I generally don't orgasm with newer partners, or whatever your unique situation is, or what you know about your sexuality. And telling them that you don't want that to be the focus or the goal of the sexual interaction. Sex is so much more than just the orgasm, and we can feel so much pleasure throughout the whole experience without needing to focus on that end goal. So you can communicate that with your partner. And the funny thing is that oftentimes just by communicating that and both letting go of that end goal and that pressure to achieve something, often because of that sense of relaxation, we're more likely to experience an orgasm. Because one of the biggest orgasm killers is when we're so focused on wanting to get there that we disconnect from the present moment and the pleasure in our body. And in focusing on that elusive thing at the end, we never actually get there. Whereas once we can let go of the expectation and feel like there's nowhere to get, we can just be present with the pleasure and connection we're feeling in this moment, we are actually way more likely to experience an orgasm. So the first tip is to actually have a conversation with your partner about it, to take off the pressure so you don't feel like you have to fake it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and you've already communicated that with your partner. Now, another thing is that if, for example, you know exactly how you orgasm and what you need to get to that place, and while you're having sex, your partner just isn't doing the things that would get you there, instead of just going along with it and then faking the orgasm for it to end, you can take it as kind of like a teachable moment. So if your partner is doing something and it's not really working for you, in that moment, instead of just going into pleasing and acting, show him what you like. You can tell him what you like in a sexy way, telling him, oh my God, baby, I love it when you do XYZ. Or if you feel a bit shy to express yourself with your voice, you can take his hand with your hand and guide it on your body to the areas you like to be touched and in the way you like to be touched. It's super sexy, and it's a way you don't need to vocally say what you want if that feels a little edgy for you or if you feel a bit shy. And instead, you just take their hand and you show them through your body language what you like. Or another way you can communicate what you like is to touch yourself. Touch yourself in the way that you really like to be touched during foreplay, during lovemaking, to model to your partner what it is that you like and what works for you. And in that way, you can basically teach your partner how to play the instrument of your body. And once you do that, maybe the first time, they try and it's not fully it, but as you do it again and again, eventually your partner will understand what you like. And then you won't have to fake your orgasm because they'll actually be able to pleasure you in a way that leads you to a real orgasm. And the last tip is that you can tell your partner, whether it's like a newer partner or a long-term partner, that you're on a journey of wanting to expand your orgasmic potential and you would like to take them along for the ride. You can tell them that you've been learning about all these different types of orgasms that women can have, from G-spot orgasm, squirting orgasm, A-spot orgasm, cervical orgasm, nipple orgasms, and that you would love to expand your orgasmic potential. And you could watch videos together. I have tons of videos on my YouTube that are free if you want inspiration on all the different types of orgasms. And you can watch these videos together, learn new techniques, and make it like a fun practice session where, you watch a video and then you practice new techniques. And this is a really fun way to not make it heavy, like, oh, I'm like having, issues orgasming with you, or what you're doing is not working. And instead make it something fun, like, hey, I want to expand my orgasmic potential and I would love for us to go on that journey together. And when you set it up in that way, there's a lot of room for communication, because let's say you watch a video and you try something, you can tell them, oh, I think I like that, but I would love if you could put a little bit more pressure, or if you could go a little bit slower. So you can take it as like fun practice sex lessons, which doesn't feel heavy, but it feels really exciting because you're learning new things together. So those are my main tips. Have a conversation where you really just tell your partner not to put the focus on orgasm, and that you would love if we can just focus on the connection and the pleasure without putting a goal of orgasm as like the measure of success. The second one is to actually show your partner during sex what you like, whether it's through telling them what you like, taking their hand and showing them what you like, or showcasing it by touching yourself. And the last one is to take this attitude of exploration and tell your partner that you want to learn new things and you want to expand your orgasmic potential and take them on the ride with you. All right, so I hope that was helpful. And I know that oftentimes it can feel edgy, with sexuality. There can still be a bit of like discomfort or a little bit of nervousness to address it. But the more we do it, the more natural it becomes. And over time, when we do that again and again and again, we cultivate a more empowered relationship with our body and our sexuality, where we feel really empowered and take ownership over our pleasure, which over time leads to a much more fulfilling sex life. So even if you notice yourself just wanting to default to fake the orgasm, just, to make it easy, try one of these different tips that I shared with you, and I guarantee that in the long run you'll be glad you did, because it's going to lead to a much more fun and juicy sex life. Alright, so if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. And I also have a completely free online course that I'll link below, which is a really good starter for you to connect more to your body, to your yoni, and to awaken your orgasmic potential. So I'll leave that down below. It's completely free, and I'll see you in the next video.